Hey, Welcome World Entertainment, and the Highlander reboot has now got a major update in the sense of we now know when it should start filming, as well as what the plot details are entailing of. So we're going to have a look at this article. It's interesting to hear the idea for where this version of McLeod comes from. If, of course, he's actually called McLeod, we don't know. I would assume he is. But we'll have a look anyway, because this is from the actual director as well who gives this. So it's not like it's from a source or anything. It's flat from the horse's mouth itself. So it says, we get our first plot details for the upcoming Highlander reboot starring Henry Cavill from director Chad, whoever the hell you say his second, I'm just going to call him Chad, who is known for the John Wick movies. Similar to the popular film starring Christopher Lambert and the TV series starring Adrian Paul, Henry Cavill will play a centuries-old warrior who struggles with the past in the present day. The movies and TV show follow a secretive group of immortals who are locked in an eternal battle for ultimate power, known as the Prize. These warriors can only be defeated by decapitation, and with each fallen opponent, the victor grows stronger. Guided by the mantra, there can only be one, the story weaves themes of destiny, love, loss, and the burden of immortality as the remaining immortals fight to determine who will claim the prize and its unimaginable power. Now, this is where we're going to start getting into the filming dates for this thing, or schedule, I should say. So, in this, it says, Chad offers an update about the film, which is now confirmed to start shooting in the spring of 2025. Reports had said filming had been delayed from January as a result of Chad's involvement with the ballerina reshoots. So Henry Cavill will now shoot the live-action Voltron first. Speaking with the direct, Chad reveals 3 settings the Highlander reboot will take place, and teases the action and some of the love story. Recall that Henry Cavill is playing an immortal warrior, so everyone around him, including the loves of his life, age and die. So this now is what the director says himself, Chad, about the actual plot of the movie, basically. And he says this, and we're bringing it forward from the early 1500s in the Highlands to the beyond present day New York and Hong Kong, and seeing how it goes. There's big opportunity for action. There's a chance to play a character that not a lot of people get to play, and it's a bit of a love story, but not how you think. On John Wick, I learned a lot on how to bend the storytelling a little, another kind of myth. So he talked in a bit, and it's talking about what Henry is going to end up being. So it's saying Chad also describes how he pitched Highlander to Henry Cavill. Fans know Henry is a big nerd, just like them. Fans also know that Henry is a staunch supporter of source material and such. It's probably safe to say, just like a lot of us, that Henry Cavill is a big fan of Highlander. So again, here's what the director says about this. My selling point was, to Henry, look, you've got a guy that's been alive for over 500 years. He's the last person in the world that wanted to be in this situation. So you get to cover quite a broad spread of a character arc there. And you get to experience someone that's trained over 500 years and sort of played with many types of martial arts. So this is one of the highlights that people seem to be latching onto, is like, oh, he's going to be a martial artist. As opposed to just, no, he's just going to be a good fighter. But I get what they're saying. So it does sound like he is, especially when it says one of the settings is going to be Hong Kong. Now that's interesting. I wonder if that'll be in the past and he's getting trained to be like a warrior in martial arts style from there, you know. It's quite interesting to hear that part. So it's saying with Chad having confirmed at the start of the production to be spring, he previously said in Scotland, while the release date and the rest of the cast hasn't been announced, you can expect announcements soon. And yeah, I would assume, especially if they're saying it's a love story, I would assume the next person cast will be the love interest. are one of the love interest, because again, if you think back, especially to the original, of course, he had a wife and stuff in the past in the Highlands of Scotland, and then time passes, they die, he moves on, gets into other relationships, and so on and so forth. I wonder, and with them saying Hong Kong as well, I wonder if the character, now, a spoiler alert for the original Highlander, if you haven't seen a movie that's, 40 something years old, I wonder if he will end up in a situation in Hong Kong like in the original movie during the war, when he saves the girl and the girl ends up working for him. Not as in like he saves her so she can work, it's like he basically became her father. I wonder if the same kind of thing would happen with the Hong Kong part of this. Does he come across a young person, whether it's a boy or girl, don't know, and takes them kind of under his wing and protects them and ends up becoming a father figure? That'd be interesting. It's also interesting though that it does say they're moving it forward from the 1500s and beyond present day. Now, there is a little bit of worry about the whole beyond present day if you've seen Highlander 2, because, oh my good God, is that movie terrible. Like, it's like they watched Back to the Future Part 2 and went, ooh, hoverboards, we gotta use something like that. And yeah, the less said about the other Highlander movies, the better. Like, they make no sense, they're just weird. But are they hinting there that we're gonna see the future as well? Don't know. I'm pretty sure they said as well they do want more than one movie, which again, I hope, if that's the case, but make this movie a standalone movie. Don't make it just a setup for a next movie, because if it bombs or something, then you're done. You're not getting that second movie, and therefore you have this incomplete story sitting there where you're like, well, that was a waste. So focus on making the one movie, making it the best you possibly can. You can leave a little thread in there. Don't leave it massively wide open to where it's like, if you don't get a second one, that it affects how the first one ends. You can just set it up in a clever way that it's leaving the door open, but it's not like if you don't move forward, it affects this one. So that's what they really need to do. It's going to be interesting to see this movie and see what the hell they do with it. And to see who else they bring on board. As we know, Clancy Brown was the villain, of course, in the original movie, and Sean Connery, and how are you going to recast those type of characters? That will be interesting to see. But big update, we now have a start date for production, springtime of next year, and we know that Hong Kong is going to be a part of it, New York and the past, possibly the future, and that he's going to know martial arts this time around and stuff like that. So very interesting. So with that, I will leave it there for this one. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know the drill. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.